What's going on, guys? It's me, Tim Riddick, back with another video for you in a very messy space. But I know you landed here because what you wanted to know about my thoughts on French New Wave cinematography and how you can use the revolutionary techniques of the movement to take better photographs as a photographer. You were probably also wondering how modern filmmakers like Tarantino and Scorsese are still using these techniques today to make films. I mean, who am I kidding? That's not why you're here. You are here to watch my thoughts on the Canon's two professional L-series 50mm lenses. And I do not want to bore you with all the technical aspects of aperture blades and bokeh and stuff like that, because there's already a lot of stuff like that online. I want to give you a real honest, no fluff opinion about this lens and whether or not if you should invest $2,400 of your hard-earned bucks on it and how this lens is compared to the EF 50mm 1.2 lens. Listen, I want to get this out of the way early so you don't have to watch the entire video, but I bet you are probably wondering if this lens is even worth it, and I want to say, well, it kind of depends upon who you are as a photographer or if you also dabble in video. I know, it's probably not the answer you were looking for, but I need to tell you a couple of things come into play when you are thinking about buying this particular lens. Now let's talk about if you are a filmmaker and all you have is the original Canon EOS R, then no, you should probably not buy this lens. For starters, this lens is massive and feels a little awkward on the original R and the RP. And this lens has no image stabilization, which is a huge bummer considering that is an issue that both photographers and filmmakers have had to deal with way back in the EF 50mm focal lengths. You can make this lens work to film, but you're probably going to need to put it on some sort of stabilizer. And to be honest, between the lens weighing over 2 pounds and the length of the lens, you will probably also need a gym membership so you can work on those arm curls for at least a month or two in order to comfortably carry this on a gimbal. Now, if you have one of the R5 or the R6 with in-body stabilization that is included with those bodies, then you can probably get away with walking around and just shooting this 50mm RF lens. Now, I know one of the most controversial things about the RF lens is the control ring, and I think where the new 50mm RF can be helpful for filmmakers is by setting the ring to shutter or setting it to ISO, so that way you can quickly make changes if you are running and gunning while filming with this lens. Now, let's talk about the photography side of things. Listen, I have photographed well over 300 weddings in the last 10 years with an assortment of different camera systems and different 50mm focal lengths, but I do have an extreme bias on the EF 50mm 1.2. It didn't matter when I shot with Fuji, Sony, or the one time I took Nikon on a one-night stand, I always came back to the EF 1.2. I mean, that lens and my eyes were just meant to be. Now, I don't want you to get it all wrong. I was absolutely pumped when the RF lens came in the mail. I was like, clearly this lens is going to stay on my camera at all times. What could possibly go wrong? I was certain this lens was going to be like The Godfather Part 2 and be far superior than the original version. I mean, I know everyone knows that The Godfather 2 was better than the original Godfather. The Godfather 3 was not that great, it was actually kind of garbage, but anyway, I remember opening up the package and thinking to myself,
"Girl, you're thicker than a bowl of oatmeal."
And when I put the lens on my R6, it was like a match made in heaven. Well, if heaven is made up of a camera and a lens, it's going to cause it to be all unbalanced. Now here's where things get a bit nuanced for me. This lens is great. It autofocuses extremely fast. Optically, it is an incredibly strong lens, and sharpness is straight up ridiculous. Does it have some vignetting? Yes, it does have vignetting, but does that even matter when you can correct that in post in one click? Nah, it really doesn't. The RF from a technical standpoint outperforms the EF 50mm. It's almost twice the size though, and considering that it's also twice the price, you can get a good used EF copy for under about $1,000. But does the RF and the EF make it better? Well, the RF, in short answer, no, it isn't better. Now, this is strictly a personal take as a photographer and a full-time creative. I personally feel that every new camera and every new lens generally only makes incremental fixes to a problem with the previous version. I believe that we have almost reached peak camera. There hasn't been a bad camera in a really, really long time, no matter what company you shoot with. There has even been far better lenses that have come out. But the truth of it is, sometimes I personally don't want all the flaws engineered out of a lens. I mean, the EF was damn near perfect, and it's even better when you put it on an RF mount camera. Now, the flare that you get from the EF 50mm, I think is just perfect. Is even better on the old school 5D Classic. You can see my review on that. Now, the EF has a lot of character and is almost half the size as the RF 50 and weighs about a pound lighter. I know this may come off as a little bit jerkish, but I also don't always care so much for tack sharp images. I feel as if in our quest for perfection that we have kicked imperfect to the curb for sterile images. I mean, just because your image is tack sharp does not mean that it is a great image. I mean, seriously, one of my favorite photographers ever, Henry Cartier-Bresson, who is wildly known as being one of the best street photographers ever, has a lot of super famous photographs where the subject has some level of motion blur. I feel like in our quest for sharpness and perfection, we've also taken out some of the spontaneity and some of the character out of photography. Sometimes having movement and imperfection in an image can show and tell emotion of the moment. That is one of the main reasons why I decided to send the RF version back. It's great. It's a great lens. The RF is a beast figuratively and literally. It is large and is no doubt an amazing lens. And I can see the value in it for a lot of different types of photography and photographers. It just isn't the lens for me, but I can totally see how it can be a lens for you and one that you should buy. A lot of other people are comparing the RF lens to the Zeiss Otis 55 1.4, and they are both expensive and optically great, but great is super subjective, and I think if you have the EF and an adapter to the RF camera, that you should probably be good with that setup for a very long time, or at least until Canon stops servicing that lens or your lens breaks. But I overall feel that the RF, although I think it's a fantastic lens and I think you would love it if you bought it, I just don't think that it's a lens for me, and that is the main reason why I sent it back. I love the imperfection of the EF lens. I think the EF lens fits the style of photography that I shoot better, but that's me. That's my personal opinion. I also like to have a full wallet, so there's that too. Well guys, that's it for this video. This is just my initial thoughts on this lens and comparing it to the EF version. I did send the RF back, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.